So welcome, and let us get started. So today we're going to be doing a meditation that's based on the breath. It's a mindfulness-based practice that focuses. This week we're going to break it down. Every week we'll deal with our thoughts, feelings, emotions, sounds, sensations. But I want to start kind of ease into it and just let's focus on our thinking today. The thinking mind, as I said yesterday. Shakespeare says, "For there is nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so." And a lot of the times we color our situations with our thoughts and our thinking. And so, one way to get out of that habitual, repetitive pattern is to start to notice when you're thinking. And it's more like turning your attention to that awareness that knows you're thinking. And so, there is a process that we go through. In fact, it was really funny that last night I was watching Jimmy Kimmel does that little pre-show before the finals game last night between the Lakers and the Heat. And one of the things I noticed is he had Bill Murray on, and Bill Murray you wouldn't think of him as like a mindfulness type of guy, but he really is if you look at some of the more some of the interviews he's done online. And one of the things he was saying last night is that there's an inner awareness. He didn't say it directly, but he was really saying there's an inner awareness that's in all of us. There's like an aspect of our being that I like to say is right here. It's right on the other side that is here, but it's so camouflaged to us because we've trained ourselves just to react to the situation. And if we can kind of start building spaces between our thoughts and our thinking, then we can start to bring the real Andy out, the one that is aware that I'm doing things. And so today we're going to do a meditation that still requires a heavy deal of focus. So I'm just going to put this up for a second. Nope, did that wrong. I'll put it up like that. So every meditation we do, and I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but every meditation that we do requires some level of focus. Remember, the type of focus is it can't be rigid. It can't be forced. It's a light focus, whether that's the breath, the region of the body, the loving kindness affirmations, some type of focus. So today it's going to be on the breath. That's where we will start. And at some point, we're all going to become distracted. And once we're distracted, we're not even aware at this point. So we get distracted by so many things, but I like to say we get distracted by our sets, S-E-T-S, our sensations, our emotions, our thoughts and thinking, and some sound in the external environment. So once we become aware, right between here and here, that we're distracted, that awareness is the magic moment of mindfulness, because I say that's when we have a choice. So we're creating more choices to be our authentic self, to come back to our focus. And each time we come back to our focus, like I've said a million times, we're strengthening our attention, we're strengthening our memory, our empathy, our self-compassion, because we can let go of the story. We can cut the emotional hook that is kind of dragging our thought process into the future and worrying about something that's probably not going to happen. Or it's just ruminating on something we wish we had done in the past that we can't really do much about. And so this is the process that we'll use today. And every time we notice we're distracted, I just want you to notice what you're thinking of. And then we're going to see if we can practice letting that go by just becoming more aware of the breath. So it's a process, and it is a mental workout. These are the mental workouts. So, sometimes hopefully it'll feel great and feel relaxing, but there is a fair amount of work that we're going to do together. And so I've talked way too much, but I feel like it's so important to get this groundwork down so we understand what we're trying to do in our meditations. But with that said, let's get as comfortable as we can. And let's gently close our eyes. And let's start this morning's meditation by collectively, even though we're apart, we can come together and take that first deep breath into the nose, really let it fill up the lungs, holding it at the top. And go ahead, let it out through the mouth. See if you can push all that air out. We'll just do that one more time. A deep cleansing breath into the nose, out through the mouth. And let's do that one more time. A deep cleansing breath in through the nose, holding it at the top again. And go ahead, let go through the mouth. Let your breath settle back into its natural rhythm. And let's see if we can notice that if we don't get involved, if we don't try to force and control the breath, it'll settle down. We'll get into our morning meditation by coming back to our 3 questions. So as you know, I like to ask myself 3 questions before I meditate to help center myself and start to figure out what I really want out of life. You do that by setting some clear intentions. So I invite you to set these intentions with me silently a few times each in your own mind. And so the first question I'd like you to ask yourself is, who am I? Who am I? So many things pop into my mind as soon as I ask that question. And they're usually the stereotypical answers right off the bat. My mind wants to tell me, I'm Andy, I'm this, I'm that. So many identities competing for this one body. And those are all threads of who I am. But what happens if we start to peel back some of those layers and just keep asking yourself, who am I? So ask it and then listen for the answer. All right, go ahead, ask yourself, what do I want? What do I really want? What do you want to see happen for yourself over these next 2 months, 3 months, for the rest of the year? Just phrasing it in that way, I immediately get answers that are physical, emotional, material, and those are okay. We try not to judge the answers. Everything is about practicing non-judgment of whatever arises. So notice what comes up and know that whether you're aware of it or not, who am I and what do I want are really guiding a majority of your life's choices. So I think it's so important to tune into what it is you want. And then practice not judging the answer. Ask it again. What do I want? What is my Dharma? Go ahead and ask yourself, what is my purpose in life? So I say this to my kids all the time. I don't really have an opinion one way or the other of what you want to do with your life, but I feel like it's your goal to figure it out, what it is you're good at, that nobody else is good at. I believe we all have that within us, that we have this skill, this talent, nobody else has. And I just say, I want you to figure out how you can use it to help. How can you help? Okay, let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. I want you to let go of our questions. As my teacher David G likes to say, let's let the universe work out any of those little details. We don't need to get involved. We can let it go, and now let's silently turn our attention back to the breath. And this time we're going to focus on the breath in the body. Let's set our starting point and anchor of where we're going to, start that first few breaths, whether it's in the nose, the chest, the abdomen. We'll make an anchor of the breath, and then we'll see what happens. So let's gather our attention, and let's set our first intention to place our awareness right at the tip of our nose. So slowly breathe in. Notice the scent, the temperature, the vibrational quality. See if you can feel the pressure of the air releasing in the nostrils. Or if you're particularly distracted this morning by your running to-do list, like I am so often in the mornings, sometimes I'll try my best. I'll place the intention to place it right at the tip of my nose, but I'll also think in as I'm breathing in and out as I'm breathing out. Acts like a little anchor, a mantra, a centering device to kind of keep me focused on the nose and not be so quickly swept away by my thoughts and thinking. It's kind of a neutral anchor word. Just think in as you breathe in and out as you breathe out. Okay, let that go. Let's bring our energy down. We'll bring our attention right to the chest area. The same idea. I want you to breathe in. See if you can notice the expansion. Notice the dissolving on the exhale. You may notice the shoulders rise. You may notice you sink a little bit more into your chair, into your seat, into your bedroom, wherever you're meditating. You may notice that relaxation quality. It's actually that relaxation quality we're trying to tap into in every meditation. And you tend to notice them on the out breaths. So as you're breathing in, if you want to focus on the chest and you don't want to get swept up so quickly, just start thinking rise as you breathe in and notice the rise and fall. The body has a nice cadence to it, the rise and fall. And then finally, we'll bring our energy down all the way. Bring it to the abdomen. Take that deep belly breath, breathing in. Feel the stomach expand. The abdomen will expand. You'll feel it in the waistband, hopefully the lower part of your seat. And that dissolving again on the exhale. That sense of letting go. And you can use that as a mantra. That's a great mantra. Breathing in, thinking the word let. Breathing out, thinking the word go. Just kind of cueing the body to relax, cueing the body to let go. So just take a minute here, figure out where you want to focus your attention, either in the nostrils, the chest, or the abdomen. I want you to pick one. And then lightly focus your attention there. Even if it's only for like 1 or 2 breaths. Because as always, you'll notice, I'll pick the area. I'll go those 1 or 2 breaths, and all of a sudden my mind is off. And we're distracted. And so we're distracted by our sets, right? These are our mental push-ups. We're distracted by a sensation, something, irritability, restlessness, wanting to keep check the timer. Or an emotion, a thought and a feeling combined to create a stronger emotion that says, I don't want to do this. I don't have time. Or maybe it's a sound. Something outside will distract you. And instantly you go to that judgment. Why is that person doing this? Or why is that noise happening? Oh, I'm trying to meditate. That leads to a thought. And more often than not, that's the thoughts and thinking. And so whenever we notice that we're lost in some random thinking, or our to-do list, or a thought that kind of chugs along like a train and creates this story, I want you just to become aware of the thought. Acknowledge the thought. Actually celebrate that awareness. Because you're waking up to the choice. The choice to keep thinking and judging and ruminating, worrying. Or the choice to begin again and come back to the breath. And so remember, all of our meditations are based on a light focus. And we're distracted by our sets, our sensations, emotions, thoughts and thinking, or some type of noise, some sound in the environment. And then that awareness, the magic moment of mindfulness. I'm aware that I am thinking. You can just acknowledge that you're thinking. Try not to beat yourself up, because it will happen over and over. Just know, I'm thinking. Come back to the choice to refocus on the breath. And that's when we are laying down those, strengthening those neural connections in the brain. So let's keep meditating in this way. I'm going to keep an eye on the time. When you hear me ring the bell, we'll still continue to sit or lay down with our eyes still closed. with our eyes still closed. Go ahead, let go of the breath and just rest easy. Start to deepen our awareness back into the space. You can start to move around, roll the head, the shoulders, massage the hands together, whatever you need to do to bring yourself back into the space. And when it's comfortable, go ahead and gently open your eyes. Namaste.